old Gundam type ACD. Alright, first things first, and that's detail. Thing is, this guy doesn't have too much. He's a very simply designed kit, very simply designed robot, or Gundam, I'm sorry, for you Gundam heads. Anyway, very simply designed Gundam, not too much added detail in a kit, not too much paint required actually, not too much at all. Everything comes molded in color, except for maybe these little black areas right here in the back of the legs, which I'm sure are supposed to be vents or something. And of course these little parts right here, which are more than half the time never painted, so you're gonna have to do that in gray. Underneath I did the gray too right there, and these little foot thrusters or whatever they are. So GN drive of course was detailed with black and gray lining marker. Also another thing I added, the same thing I did to Exia was the same thing I did to him, except you can barely tell on him because it's just, even with the sun shining against it, it just doesn't show up well. You can only tell that I did it if you look at it from the side. You can tell that it's clear green. But yeah, that's about it. Stickers, he only had about like that much. He only had the black sticker that goes behind there and his eye sticker, which I did use. Right there in the back I did, which I assumed was the rotor for the GN drive. So, yep, that's about it. Very simple design. So the articulation is where this guy shines. And since he's so simply designed, you have barely any obstructions for articulation points here and there, except for maybe a couple, but you know, it's nothing to be mad about. His head, pretty free moving, go back and forwards, up and down, look around and everything. Arms are free moving too. It's on the 00 Season 2 ball joint system. Rotate, go in and out, rotate here at the bicep, double jointed elbow bend, and it's a really nice elbow bend by the way. And then of course, the ball jointed wrist. And unfortunately, it doesn't come with any like dynamic, dramatic reaching out hands. He only comes with these two fists, which is probably a downside to some, very tiny downside. You have the double waist, go back and forward, turn, and everything. Skirts, these come molded together, but you can always cut them in half, so they can move up and down. These can go pretty much anywhere. The side skirts can go anywhere. Since the back skirts are so small, his legs can go pretty much about that far forward, that far backwards, bend at the knee twice, rotate at the thighs, and of course it's got the 00 pelvis joint. Really interesting part right here though. The ankles are really interesting. So you have that nice moving, free moving ankle, but then what I really found interesting was this little flap right here. It's not attached traditionally where it's attached to the ankle on both sides. Instead it's attached on one side only. You think that, you know, it's new and it might change things, but it actually is pretty effective and it doesn't take away from anything at all. So that's really nice. That is really nice. So articulation for him is spectacular. Okay, so now for his accessories, he of course comes with the basic Gundam stuff: beam rifle, shield, which I kind of half-assed detailed. It's supposed to be white back here entirely, but whatever. So nice shield. You can attach it like this. And the handle actually comes from underneath, which is kind of different. It just attaches just like that. Very simple. And also he has the beam saber, which right here. Also this is it's articulated here because it can go like backwards and forwards and stuff. So beam saber is right here. The interesting thing about him is when you get him, the beam effect parts that you see is actually right here. If you look at the date, it's 2007. So he's getting his beam effect part from season 1. It's as if, and I mean, it's not as if, it is that Bandai pretty much set you up so you can buy this, so you can pretty much get Gundam Exia Repair 2 at the same time. Because if you look at the beam saber, it's kind of got this weird eye shape. It's because it has a peg, a hole for a rounded peg, and a hole for a square peg. So you can basically use season 1 and season 2 beam effect parts on the sword. So then of course you take his beam effect parts and just plug it in, and he's got this nice beam saber. Very nice. And his final little gimmick, or maybe second to final, is the swapping of either his GN battery pack, which by the way, when you have this, you get these two little small parts on the side. I would suggest you glue those on first time, because just save yourself the trouble and just glue it on, alright? So yeah, part swapping involved. I like to leave that part there just because. probably one of my favorite gimmicks in a lot of Gundams, and they should really start to implement this in a lot of the kits, is right here on his ass. He's got a little latch right here, and you just take your finger, lift it up, and there's a hole for you to put an action base on, so that you don't have to always stick it up his crotch area. You can always just plug it in here, so that way you can get him in those really angelic poses that only Wing Zero Custom can look good and pull off, you know what I mean? So yeah, I really found that really nice. So Bandai, if you can like implement this in all your other Gundam kits from now on, that would be really great. Alright, so to close, I don't have much to say about him, except he's awesome. Like his overall him is just awesome. Like look at this pose. It looks a lot more natural than a lot of the Gundams can pull off. Like it's all because of the simplicity of his design, and the simplicity of design really shows a lot because posability is just awesome. You can get very natural looking Gundam poses. Not even just Gundam poses. You can get very natural looking human poses. Like look at this. This is very, this is very nice. I can really imagine like a human posing for him, and someone like me probably posed my Gundam right after that guy. Anyway, so yeah, posability is great. Detailing is just on the dot because nearly all the parts come in color, and the only thing that I probably had to add were, like I said, the little ankles back there and the little black areas. But even so, if you have a lining marker, that's no problem. So yeah, detail is nice. I added some things here that I didn't even have to add, and you'd still look nice. His articulation is, it's seamless because there's nothing obstructing his posability. Like one thing though that I have to point out is his side skirts and his front skirts. I really thought that his side skirts, the way they're attached, I was really expecting them to pop out more than I was hoping they would, but it turned it around on me. They stay there more than I thought they would. So that's even more surprising to me, at least. And it's accessories, basic Gundam accessories, beam saber, beam rifle, pistol, shield, and a couple other things. And plus the little gimmick back here, so you can post a shield back there instead of up his crotch, is also a plus for me, because I can definitely open up some more poses with that. But yeah, overall awesome kid. I definitely recommend you pick him up if you already haven't. So yeah, I mean, I really have nothing bad to say about him. I mean, because even right now I'm having a hard time finding what I didn't like about him. It's just that great. So yeah, this has been a video review for Gundam Type ACD. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace out. What's going on, you guys? Versus Z here, and right now we're going to be reviewing crap. Gundam Type ACDC. ACDC. Ha ha ha. No, I don't know what that. I don't know what ACDC. I mean, yeah, I don't know what ACD means. Let me know. Whatever. Review time.